Adeboye, which is also a doctor, is a youth. Welcome guys to Gospel Mix and Mix. As regarding to the suspension of two pastors that happened in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, a lot of people have been asking several questions as to why is it that it was only two that was suspended among those three names that was listed by Gist blogger, and why didn't Pastor Adeboye knows before now that some of his pastors are reacting, are behaving in such a manner? You know, a lot of people have been asking several questions, and the answers to some of these questions will be given out in this video as regarding to this channel's view. And recently before now, right, a list came out as regarding to three names that were compromising members in the church of Redeemed Christian Church of God, and people started asking. In fact, as regarding to Gist lover, is like Pastor Adeboye and RCCG want to cover it up because they want to cover their names. But with the suspension of this pastor, it appears that the church don't have any intention to cover anything up, and but yet a lot of people have been asking questions like, why is it that it was only two that was suspended when three names were listed? Okay, but then before we even go to some of these questions, let's quickly give you the biography of some of these pastors that were suspended. One of the pastors that was suspended is Pastor Adeboye, which is also a doctor. He's a youth pastor in charge of the Potter's House RCCG Agege Youth Church, and he is a young and vibrant pastor, as he has been posting on social media and doing the things of God. But it's quite unfortunate that the news like this actually just came up. And looking from his own biography, that church, he was the one that started grooming the church from nothing to the stage that he is right now when he was posted to that environment. And for the second pastor, Deacon Maiwa is also a youth pastor in charge of RCCD David's Chamber in Lagos as well. It's a youth church. Then at the front of his name you saw deacon. I guess probably because in the church ranking he's only been known as a deacon, but because he's been posted to a church and he's pastoring that church, so people call him pastor. But by the church doctrine, he is a deacon. So he is also a youth pastor and very vibrant. In fact, he has even handled one or two programs at the national level. Quite unfortunate that this allegation had to come at this very moment. We call it allegation because it has not been proven and it's still under investigation. But then, even if it's still under investigation, these are weightier allegations. You know that there's a saying that in every rumor there is an element of truth, but I'll have to hit that in every rumor as well there is an element of deception. So while we wait for the investigation to come out, but then a lot of people have been saying the people that posted this thing, they have some level of accuracy with the news that they give out. But
to be honest, I wonder how does Gist investigated this gist, and they're accurate. Most of them, like 99% of it.
I really don't know how true that is. So now let's get straight down to the questions that people have been asking. Why is it that there are two people that were suspended instead of three? It could be as a result of these few reasons that we're about to give. Now, here is reason number one. Probably maybe the third person in question is not a worker such a minister, but just a member. And you know, no church has the authority to suspend any member since the member is not a worker or whatever. And the best the church can only do is to excuse such a person from the church and hand them over to the authority if found guilty of a crime. So that's the best the church can do. Secondly, maybe the preliminary findings did not show his direct involvement in the crime that he's been accused of. So, and the church decided to just excuse him from whatever investigation that they want to do. But from the list that was posted, it was posted that the three of them are pastors. Well, I guess there is a strong reason why the church did not include the third person into the suspension. And if there are other reasons, we'll bring it to you as we are getting the information swiftly from the source. Now, as regarding to the second questions, which is why is it that Pastor Adeboye don't know that some of his pastors are engaging in such a dirty act if he could drink tea with God? Because I saw a video where a guy said something like that, and I read several posts that people are just saying that how come he don't know? Is it that he's trying to cover it up? They want to cover it up. Okay, so in the way of trying to answer these questions, let me just put this to you straight. How do you expect him to know? For such a man that have a very large congregation like that, and you expect him to know that something like this is happening under him, even from one of his pastors? I know some of you say, if he could drink tea, if he could do this, if he could do that with God, he should be able to know. God should be able to tell him, say, say he claims that he hears from God. Now, let me answer such a question with this. It's possible that he knows and he don't, but I believe that if he knows, based on the man that he is, he will expose such act, and by now such a pastor would have been long gone from Redeemed Christian Church of God without even it coming out. But then, let me just put this. I believe you know about some particular set of people in the Bible that they call Nicolaitans. You do, but if you don't, they are the set of people that God actually condemned in the book of Revelation chapter 2 verse 6. If you read that chapter older. And who are these Nicolaitans? They are the set of people that believed that you can eat the meat that is being offered to idol, and as well you are living an adulterate life, that God is cool with it. This act was actually equated to the doctrine of Balaam. Now, who is the leaders of these Nicolaitans? The leaders of these Nicolaitans is Nicholas, one of the deacons that was ordained in the book of Acts chapter 6 verse 5 together with Stephen. And I believe you know it was the apostles that actually lay hands on them, and you know that Apostle Peter was one of the chief lead of those that lay hands on them. Now, if Peter could sense that Ananias and Sapphira was not truthful with the money that they brought, because he could sense it in the spirit, but could not sense that Nicholas will create a group that will go against the doctrine of God in the future, probably such a person like Peter that could sense that is expected to know that Nicholas will end up becoming somebody that will lead people astray in Christ, but yet he did not, because it is only God that knows the future. For that reason, it is only what God wants you to know he will tell you. The ones that he don't want you to know, he will keep it until the day it's been exposed, just like this one is being exposed allegedly, since we are not even sure if what they said is true. So it's the same thing is applicable to Pastor Adeboye. The fact that he don't know this does not mean that some of the things he says or he has been saying is a lie. So guys, I understand if some of you might have one or two things that you feel you're pained about as regarding to the man of God or the church itself, but the thing is, it's always good that we are being objective about our view, because it helps us to see things in different angles rather than just drawing a conclusion on the things that we don't have evidence. So as regarding to this video, I just decided to bring out my own objective point of view. If there is more or less, we'll bring it to you as time goes on, but let's be objective rather than being conclusive. And I also hope that Gist Lover do have evidence as regarding to the claims that they are making towards these guys, because these are weighty allegations that could dent and destroy the destiny and career of this set of people if they are found guilty. And if they are not, it would have been a stain on their career, because it's not the people that actually saw the list that will come back to see the result of the investigation that they have been cleared. But if not, I hope that these guys did not do it, because if they actually did, they've actually bring out some stains to the Redeemed Christian Church of God, since some of them are already handling some programs at the national level. But I trust God that this church will be able to do justice to whatever it is that these people have caused, and they will address it, and they will even serve. In fact, they have already even started for suspending these pastors. Let's hope that this is not true, but if it is, I know they know what to do, and they will do the right thing as we keep our fingers crossed. So let's just mellow down our comments while we wait for the outcome of the investigations. Thank you guys for watching this video. God bless you. Just look at some of the reactions of people, why people are reacting. This one says it's a club, not a church. Some people are reacting and stuff the rest. But if there's any other development, we'll bring it up to you. Thank you guys for listening to this video. So